Welcome, kings and queens. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I wanted to go over a recent post, a YouTube post by Daniel Negreanu. And what's awesome about Daniel is he's very transparent and he's open and willing to help us improve in our poker game. And he does that by sharing his personal experiences, the good and the bad. And so recently, Daniel posted a video on YouTube stating that he lost over $2 million playing poker tournaments in 2023. And he broke down each year how he's performed, and he went over some of the reasons why he believed that he didn't get the results that he was looking for in 2023. And he also made some corrections, and you can obviously tell the corrections that he made spoke volumes and really improved his game, because the first tournament he played this year, he won. And we'll discuss that later in this video. But last year he played 145 poker tournaments, which was significantly more than he's played in previous years. And I think when he said he broke this down, that doesn't mean he played 145 bullets. That means he played 145 different tournaments. So some of these tournaments he'll put in multiple bullets, or at least when he does his win-loss. He doesn't necessarily tell us how many bullets he's put in. He's telling us how many tournaments he's played individually. So on 2023, he played 145. 22, he played 107. So you can see that significant difference that he played in tournaments. 2021, he only played 97. And obviously 2020 was during the smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. So in 2019, he played 86. And it looks like he didn't play anything, if any live events during 2020, because most of everything was shut down. Now, he broke down some of the results or some of the reasons why he believed that he didn't perform as well as he was expecting to in 2023. He stated in 2022 he was high on a late victory that he had in December 2022. He won $3 million in the High Roller Bowl. And he classifies this, or he names this, winner's tilt. Pretty much you do so well, so you don't really care about how you're playing. You have all this money that you recently won, so the next tournament you're playing could be a really small buy-in, and it in your mind is insignificant because you just won $3 million in one tournament previously in a high roller. So he said he played poorly, sloppy, and he just did a lot of gambling. Maybe sometimes he played tournaments and he got in spots where he's like, oh, who cares? I'll just buy in again, opposed to really getting locked in and really making the best decisions. And he did point this out because Daniel does sell action to just recreational players or just people that want to invest in him. And he stated the only time he plays sloppy or gambles a lot is on his own dime, not necessarily when he's playing when our money's on the line as well. So you want to make sure that I highlighted that, as he highlighted it in his video as well. Kind of self-explanatory. He played just way too many tournaments in 2023. And he alluded to the reason why he played so many tournaments was he made side bets that weren't even really significant bets, but it made him play more tournaments at the PokerGo studio. And it was often outside of the normal schedule that he creates every single year. And he always has this built out schedule. He has a routine. And usually when we deviate from our routines, something's going to falter. And it looks like he played too many tournaments. He got off of his normal routine and his poker game, and the results weren't as well as he expected them to be because of it. And of course, bad luck was part of it as well. He mentioned losing all-in pots late stages in the tournament pretty often and felt that he was running below expectation, and that can happen to all of us. I know it's happened to me plenty of times. Looking back, I'm still sick to my stomach a couple tournaments. If I win this large pot where I'm a significant edge to win that hand, I'm going to go on and I'm going to crush the final table. But unfortunately, those cards, that we do not want to see, those 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, whatever the case may be, those cards do hit every once in a while. He also mentioned, because he's playing these high rollers with some of the best players in the world, that his edge was a lot smaller in these tougher fields. And that means that if he doesn't have an edge like if he would if he's playing the World Series of Poker main event, where there's a lot of recreational players, it's a high buy-in, but there's still a lot of recreational players that are playing in the early stages of the tournament that he can really take advantage of. Well, in those high rollers, you really don't have a lot of people that have a lot of leaks or players that you can expose. And Daniel's game is he plays a lot. His strategy goes into exposing players and taking advantages of their weaknesses, and that's really what he does to gain an edge. But in these high rollers, it's really difficult for him to do that because everyone's really playing at optimal game, optimal strategy. But he did have some corrections that he wanted to make for 2024. And as I stated at the beginning of this episode, you can tell that he actually put this in motion and he started running good because he won his first tournament of 2024. And we'll get into that in further detail. Number one, he said, play only when ready and when he feels like it. So those times when he gets up and he's just like, I don't really feel it today. Sometimes he was still going and pushing forward and playing. Well, if you're already in that mindset that you're not feeling 100%, you really don't want to you're probably not going to put your best effort forward. And that's going to lead to maybe gambling or just getting yourself in some silly spots that it's unnecessary. Number two, he said less gamble and more plus EV play. And that's something we all should be doing. I know plenty of times we get in these spots where like, oh, it's early in the tournament. I can just rebuy. It's early stage. Let's gamble a little bit. Well, over the long haul and over the long run, that is not a plus EV strategy. In putting in more bullets, just because you have the money to put in bullets doesn't mean that you should be putting in these bullets. Tournament poker is already high variance. And if you're just adding on top of that by gambling even more, it's not a recipe for success. And number three, something we all can really listen to and it really hit home for me: stay humble and continue to work hard. Don't get cocky, even if you feel like you're best player at the table and some of the people are just making these silly mistakes and you're just mopping them up. Just stay humble, stay consistent, keep taking advantage of that. Don't get cocky. Variance is always around the corner. Lady Luck is always there and going to show you, you know what? You think this 1 out is not going to come, but I'm going to show you it is possible. And we can have long runs of that playing tournament poker. So I thought those were three important notes to add. And like I said, Daniel has clearly made those corrections. And we already seen the results in early 2024. So I'm going to share my screen. I went to HindenMob. And if you guys aren't familiar with HindenMob, essentially HindenMob is a database of all poker tournament results for every poker player. Now, not every venue may report these results to the online database. And so sometimes you might have to reach out to the casino operator and ask them to give you the information that you need in order to submit to HindenMob, so you can have pretty much your poker resume online for everybody to view. And you can also just keep track of how you're doing and how you're performing. And so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go over Daniel's results in this high roller that he played. He played a $10,000 plus $100 fee at the Poker Go studio. It's called the PGT Last Chance. It looks like it was the first event. And as you can see, Daniel took first place for $218,000. And some of these names at the final table, I'm sure you're familiar with. I mean, we see players like Jonathan Little, Nick Schulman, Isaac Haxton, David Peters, Justin Bonomo. There was a lot of studs in this tournament, and Daniel was able to come out on top and beat everybody and hoist the trophy, as well as $218,000 plus to start his year off right and really kind of justify. He knew exactly what he was talking about. He was just running bad, and a couple of other things that were just compounding when you're running bad. And he turned it around in 2024. He started off with a bang. So I wanted to share that with you guys so you can see a visual as well. You definitely check out the video and it's full. It's about a 20-minute video that Daniel posted on YouTube, on his YouTube page. So if you want to go dive a little bit deeper, but I pretty much gave you all the best parts of that video if you don't have time to listen to it to yourself. At this time, I did want to talk about a Patreon group that I created. So for me, the times that I traveled with other poker players, and a lot of those poker players were better players than myself, those were the times that I had the best results. So I think you're always a result of the company you keep. And that goes in life as well. If you hang around a bunch of drunks, a lot of people that aren't doing much, you're probably going to fall and kind of be of an underachiever and probably fall along the same lines of those people as well. So all you want to do, you want to align yourself with people that are hardworking, go-getters, have integrity, good people. And as far as poker, you want to align yourself with great poker players and players that talk the game and continue to improve on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year basis. And so I'm creating a poker community which is going to be the most diverse and inclusive poker community worldwide that I've ever seen. And to be quite honest, there's not a lot of poker communities. What there is a lot of cliques, and there's a lot of people that may be offering you courses and things like that. That's not exactly what this is. I'm not offering you any courses. What I am offering you is the opportunity to get in the room or to watch videos of interviews of poker pros that I've done. And I'm going to take the best parts of those interviews, and that's only going to be available for you guys in the Patreon group. So there's a 7-day free trial for the Patreon group. So definitely tap in. You can also look at the videos on All in Society and Friends with Laura and Yasser. They are poker players from the DMV area. I live in the DMV in Maryland. And so those are the poker players that I'm really going to lean on. And I will be traveling this year. I'll be going to, later this month, I'll be going to Tunica for the World Series of Poker Circuit. And I'll be traveling to, more than likely, going to Vegas this summer and other places where I'll be able to rub elbows with some of the best players and hopefully be able to provide some new interviews for you guys. And I have also on the works interviews with some of the best and greatest poker players on this planet, in this country, worldwide. And that is only going to be exclusive to the Patreon group. No more of these free videos that I'm going to be posting on YouTube. I'll still provide some videos to some certain aspect, but the best content is going to be exclusively in the Patreon group. So if you're somebody who wants to travel and play cards and improve, not just by just maybe your small group that you in your local at your local poker room, but players that are worldwide from all over the place, definitely take a look at it, tap in. And the link is going to be in the episode description. I'd hope and I really look forward to growing a big and great community of successful poker players, all winning poker players. So we're going to travel, get together, we're going to improve our game together, and most importantly, we're going to make money together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you join me in the Patreon group. Definitely check out all my videos, my YouTube page, All in Society. And it's not just for poker. I have real estate folks on there, content creators, specifically to sports. I've interviewed my good friend Derek Prillman. He is an author, and he has an amazing story. It's a tragic story, but it's also his growth. And his book is an amazing book. You check it out on Amazon. Definitely pick it up. It's a quick read, and definitely support him. But that's going to be it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it provided some type of value for you, or at least entertained you at the same time as well. So until next time, peace and good luck to you, Daniel.